Hello, Taurus, and welcome. This will be a general reading for Taurus for June 21st to July 22nd, also known as Cancer season. Of course, dates are flexible since it is a general reading. This may or may not resonate with you. However, if you are watching it, it may be for a reason, so maybe something in here will resonate with you. If not, you might want to check your moon or rising sign. And also, normally in this reading, I do include the shuffling of the cards, but there was a little glitch. Let's just say I am not a technological guru. And anyway, so you're probably better off anyway because the shuffling took a very long time for your cards to jump out, Taurus. But let's take a look at what we have here. So in the center here for, I would say that the energy that you're bringing to this Cancer season, Taurus, is the Magician, which, how awesome is that, right? The ultimate manifester here, right? He's got everything he needs to manifest what he wants. Now, crossing the Magician, we have the Tower. Now, you could look at the Tower as a challenge or an opportunity, right? So, you know what? Like the Tower, that it's really that unexpected upheaval, right? That unexpected change that kind of like just shakes things up, right? So the Tower, though, is really, it's often a great opportunity because oftentimes, and for you, Taurus, I do feel like this is a spiritual shakeup. I feel like it is. I feel like it is challenging maybe some of your earthly beliefs, so to speak. And it's kind of like really shaking you up and throwing you. Maybe there might be something new, some new insight or information or idea that has been presented to you by someone, or even something that almost like kind of manifested internally for you, like a spiritual download of sorts, a realization of sorts that maybe is challenging your old beliefs, your old way of thinking. This is the challenge, or let's say opportunity or advantage card, but I'm going to just stick it here so you can see the Magician. So in the recent past with the High Priestess, another major arcana, look at this, Magician, Tower, High Priestess, there is really some major energy that is leading into the Cancer season here and maybe getting you started during this time period, right? So we have the High Priestess here. So I'm feeling like some of you have actually been paying attention to your inner self, your inner messages, your spirituality, maybe more so than usual. Some of you may even have been meditating and really kind of getting that quiet mind that allows some of that like knowing or those spiritual messages to come in, right? I know that meditation does do that for me, right? When I have a really good quieting of the mind, I really can recognize those messages from the universe and things become clearer. I gain clarity. So I'm feeling like you have some spiritual clarity here in the recent past. And depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this just in advance, because I am doing this reading a few days before Cancer season. You might be experiencing this now or at the very beginning of Cancer season, where you're really exploring your spiritual side, Taurus. And for the grounded person that you are, this might be a little bit different for you, for some of you. And the short-term outcome, the Eight of Swords reversed, I actually like this. I'm getting that, and it makes total sense here, right? That with this magician energy, right? You can manifest anything. You're manifesting this, shake up to your beliefs, or the way you see things, or the way you operate in your earthly realm, Taurus, right? And you've been focused on this spiritual side of yourself, and now you're leaving those old ways of being, those old ways of thinking, those old ways of believing. You're leaving those old beliefs behind. You're leaving behind your old understanding of how things work, but you're definitely leaving old beliefs, ideas, knowledge, information. You're leaving that, whatever that is. It will be obviously different for each of you. It will vary, but you are leaving it behind. Like you're loosening these binds, right? So if you look at the upright card here, this figure is loosely bound in some strings and surrounded by some swords, but she could easily walk away from this, so she's allowing herself to be bound up with, in these basically self-limiting beliefs, right? But you are leaving this behind. You are shedding these ties and leaving this old way of being or thinking or believing behind you. That's your short-term outcome. So that's really nice. I really like this, Taurus. Okay, and in the desired outcome, you're looking for some inspiration. You're hoping for some inspiration. You're hoping for some inspiration to know what the next step is. You want to know where you're headed, right? You're looking out. You're holding your own small world in your hand. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, your small world, but your own personal world in your hand. And you're kind of glancing out at that and at the world at large at the same time. And you're wondering what's next for you. And in the desired outcome position, you're hoping for that inspiration, that message. You want that message of what's next for you in your own world and out there in the world at large. I feel like you're looking toward the bigger picture, and you're unclear as to where you're going, and you want some answers. So in the subconscious with the Knight of Cups, I feel like deep inside you actually have and know you have that intuition that will take you forward. But you might be ignoring it, right? Well, like the Knight is coming forth, right, with this cup, and he's in the midst of this journey. And I think you know that you have the beginning of the Knight's upright here. So I feel like deep inside, you know that you have the intuition to follow this spiritual journey, to take this journey, to take this path forward. But it may be subconscious for you, this knowing. You might want to let this out and accept that you have this side of you. Taurus, you're such a grounded, down-to-earth person. So maybe for some of you, this is like a new feeling or a new experience. Again, this is quite specific in this situation. This kind of like a spiritual path or journey. And this might not apply to everyone, but again, if you're watching this in advance of Cancer season, you might be on the lookout for this, because this is really good. This is, this is all positive. I love this this spiritual upheaval and this leaving behind of the old. Listen, you're supposed to do this. We're all supposed to do this. We are here in these physical bodies. Our non-physical spiritual selves are in these physical bodies for the very purpose of, I apologize, something just popped up on my screen. I'm just closing that out. I apologize, Taurus. We are here to have a spiritual experience in the physical world. So we're here for the physical experience too. Yes, we are. But we came here to create ourselves and the universe and expansion. So we're supposed to have, tower moments where we question old beliefs and things get shaken up and we expand. So bring this Knight of Cups energy out and accept this spiritual journey that you're on. I like this whole situation here for you, Taurus. Okay, so now in the this is the advice position. So now it's interesting because the advice comes in the form of pentacles here, which but does basically represent you, Taurus, in your very grounded self, right? Your really a very down-to-earth material. I don't mean materialistic in a negative way, but there's nothing wrong with being materialistic. We came here into these human bodies to basically be materialistic and focus on material things, but I don't mean that in a negative way. But you're a very grounded, earthly person and down-to-earth person. So it's interesting that the advice comes in the form of pentacles. So with the Seven of Pentacles reverse here, the message is you don't need to know the big picture, Taurus. In your earthly realm, you don't need to know everything that's going to happen and see the entire way forward to the end game here, Taurus. So in other words, if this were upright, right, it would be like, oh, okay, you've been working on things and you can see the direction you're going. You could see what it is you're building, what you're creating. But with it in reverse, the universe is telling you it's not necessary. And you know what it could be, Taurus? With this spiritual situation that you are experiencing, it may, again, shake you up with the Tower and make you feel less grounded. But the universe is telling you, no worries. The universe has this. The universe has your back. The universe always has your back. Let's face it, Taurus, the universe knows better than we do what we want in the big picture, right? The universe knows every wish, desire, what have you, that we have ever, put out there into the universe. The universe sees the big picture. We get kind of trapped in our physical realm and sometimes don't, and almost always don't see that really, really big picture. So the universe has your back. You don't need to know what the next earthly grounded, step is. And you don't need to see the big picture. Trust that it will all unfold. Okay, so now the in the shuffling, this Justice card jumped out in the crook of my arm. I did put it upright, but it was very unclear whether it was upright or reversed. So I'm going to give you both scenarios because I feel like the reason it came out that way and I was able to undetermine whether it should be upright or reversed is because the message is different for some of you. Some of you it would be upright, some of you it would be reversed. So this is the external influence. So for some of you in the upright position, I feel that there might be someone around you, someone close to you whom you can maybe talk things over with if need be about this whole situation. If you feel shaken up, a person who is very balanced and fair-minded and who can see the big picture and can maybe talk it out with you in a sense where you're seeing different sides of the situation and maybe help you return to the grounded feeling that you might desire here, and help you along this spiritual shakeup that you might be experiencing. So hopefully, if you have someone like this, Taurus, you know immediately who this is. Someone who, maybe gives good advice because, like, again, he or she sees all the different sides and can look at things fairly, see the big picture, right? Now, for others, if it is meant to be reversed, there could be someone who is influencing you or can potentially influence you in a negative way. So you might want to try to beware of who that might be. There might be someone who is narrow-minded, doesn't want to hear about your spiritual journey, is a naysayer, can't look at the big picture, can't be balanced, doesn't see things from sides, has a very set way of seeing the world, and is, I don't know, maybe not making this tower experience easy for you. Although I don't feel difficult in all this. The only reason I feel like there might be some difficulties is that the advice position is telling you don't need to see the big picture. So I feel like maybe you're trying too hard to see the big picture, and maybe this is a little bit of a shakeup. You know what, Taurus? I mean, in my own experience, I've had several, I would say, tower moments where I've left behind old beliefs, and it's really been liberating. I mean, it really has. But when I was younger, it was more difficult because I was kind of born not believing in the things that my immediate family believed in. And I always questioned it, but, there was this feeling of disloyalty to my family by not believing what they believe. I have since gotten over that, but I did find it difficult to kind of leave their stuff behind. So that may be what some of you are experiencing here, and there's fine. Listen, there is no rush here. There's no rush, and actually, I feel like that's also what this card is basically telling you. Like, you don't need to see the big picture, and don't worry, you don't need to, because it's just an ongoing, eternal experience of creation and expansion. So there's nothing to worry about here. Okay, in the this is the hopes and fears position, and you know what? Something just came to me, Taurus. Okay, these three last cards jumped out together, and so this one first, I put this here, and then I put these two in the outcome together. But you know what? I don't know. Let me play with something here. I actually think these are both here. Let's see. So, hopes and fears position. I kind of feel like this is more of a fear. The word fear is very strong. There's nothing serious going on here. So let's say concern. Okay, that's a little more light in its connotation. So with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, I actually can see the correlation between the advice position here of the Seven Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Because the Knight of Pentacles reversed is kind of like you can't see the long-term path forward. So, like the Knight of Pentacles is the slow, dependable, like, journey forward where you kind of know where you're going one step at a time. You're building your future, right? But you are concerned that you can't you don't know what that path is. And you know what? With the King of Pentacles reversed, I think the concern is that this would basically, I'm feeling like the King of Pentacles reversed would be, the outcome of the Knight of Pentacles reversed here, and you don't see the end game here. You don't see the end game here. And you know what? The Pentacles here being in the advice and in the concern, it kind of makes sense, Taurus, that the universe is advising you in Pentacles with, your energy, and that your concerns are with that grounded Pentacles energy here, that, okay, so all of this shakeup here and everything, but where am I going with this, right? Where am I going with this? And it's interesting that the Strength card, now, another major arcana, powerful, powerful energy here. It's interesting that the Strength card is the outcome. Okay, so let's see. If you're concerned about your journey here, and the universe is telling you you don't need to see the big picture, you don't need to have the entire vision set out in front of you, just take it one step at a time kind of thing. Your outcome, if you choose to accept the advice of the universe, Taurus, is like the ultimate strength. It's inner and outer strength, the kind of strength that makes you feel so secure internally, but also secures your external world. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, obviously you are aware of this, that it's not the strength of okay, I can beat everyone up kind of thing, but it's the strength of being in control of your internal and external world, and not in a control way. It's not like an emperor reversed control. It's a really calm and aligned. It's a very aligned energy, right? Inner and outer alignment here, right? You have the calming strength and charisma to tame the beast, so to speak, right? So the outcome, if you choose to allow things to be and relax into it, is this powerful strength energy. And you know what? The Strength card is the number 8. And the number 8 is actually very closely related to your earthly grounded energy. 8 involves like career and money, and so I think this really is a great card for you specifically, Taurus, in your outcome with your earthly grounded energy, to get the Strength card, to get the message of strength combined with a very earthly, like a number that's very concerned with earthly issues and experiences. It's a really, really fitting outcome for you, Taurus, a really fitting message for you. So I do like this. Okay, Taurus, I really just think that the message here for you is, if this is your experience, a shakeup to maybe your beliefs or your way of being in the world here, this is really all positive. So I don't see any concerns here at all. And I feel like the universe is telling you, just don't worry about the big picture. Relax into it. Don't worry about the journey and the outcome. Just know that if you leave your worries behind and you don't worry so much about the big picture, you will recognize your inner and outer strength, and all your earthly concerns will be taken care of and fall into place. Trust the universe. You have the strength to do it, Taurus. Okay, I don't know if this will resonate with all of you. Maybe some of it will, some of it won't. Again, you could check your moon and rising signs. But if this does resonate with you, Taurus, or if you're watching this in advance of Cancer season, be on the lookout for this situation. And remember that you don't need to worry about how things are going to unfold in the earthly realm. It's just a really, I think it's a really interesting and positive reading for you for the Cancer season, Taurus. Okay, so I really, really want to thank you for being with me. I really appreciate it. If you feel so inclined, you might want to click the the thumbs up to support the channel. But either way, again, thank you for being with me. Be on the lookout for some weekly readings in between the seasonal readings. And with that, Taurus, I wish you a really, really beautiful Cancer season.